Welcome back, everybody! We have finally finished our first full year in WhimsyClan, and it's time to share the stories with you. We're going to start this year out by looking at StarClan, as we have unfortunately had our very first casualty. Our first casualty was the spunky Twilight. She was made a warrior, earning the name Twilight Spark in honor of her dignity. She made many contributions to this clan, such as finding us a mediator, and always doing her best to find any cats who got lost. Unfortunately, while she was in search of one of these missing clanmates, she got hit by a monster. Although she was afraid that so far away she would never reach StarClan, the ghosts of the ancients, especially their guide, Whirlpaw, found her and guided her back to StarClan's borders, where now she is watching over her clan. The way that a cat will look in their StarClan form will honestly vary based on the character. A lot of them will appear with their scars, as it's seen as a badge of respect. They have the ability to show their death wounds, but those wounds will appear filled with starlight. Though a lot of cats, if they died in particularly violent ways, won't choose to let those wounds be visible, because they would just be blinding balls of light. Now we can talk about our living cats. However, not everything is as it should be. In only her second moon of leadership, our founder, Lyrestar, was picked up by Two Legs. Although the clan has made some effort to go looking for her, all attempts so far have been fruitless. At this point, it's presumed that she must have settled down somewhere with the Two Legs that picked her up. After all, like a lot of cats in WhimsyClan, Lyrestar was at one point a kitty pet, so it's not beyond the realm of possibility that she could easily go back to being one. Now that Lyrestar is gone, the role of leader has fallen to Snowbird. Snowstar has already found it to be incredibly difficult leading her clan. At one point, she lost 2 of her lives in only 1 moon. First, she fought a dog, and then she ran into a rogue. She almost lost a 3rd life this year because of an outbreak of yellow cough, but thankfully, she managed to pull through. With Snowstar taking leadership, the deputy position has passed on to Orange Juice. Admittedly, he was chosen basically by default because he was the only other warrior in the clan at the time. And while Snowstar thought about waiting so that she could really have a better pool to pick from, she was desperate for some help. And, it also helped that Orange Juice is already a naturally popular cat. Honestly, half the cats in this clan have harbored a crush on him at some point or another, though the only cats he's really considered as potential partners are Snowy Star or his former apprentice, Mimosa. Can you really blame any of them, though? Look how handsome this guy is. He might be my favorite character. Our healer, Hyacinth, hasn't exactly been having the easiest time of things either. They found a trio of orphaned kittens this year and took them in. And while Hyacinth adores these kits, of course, it's not easy being a single parent as well as the clan's only healer. Leaf Bear was particularly rough on them, as not only were herbs scarce, but they slipped on some ice and ended up breaking their leg. Remember me mentioning that Twilight found us a mediator? Well, that's Scale Streak. Originally, Scalestreak came from one of our rival clans, Ant Clan, but he found his way to the WhimsyClan border with a torn up pelt and a desperate plea for sanctuary. The clan was unsure what exactly happened to him, and so far he has refused to elaborate. But right now, relations with Ant Clan are a bit awkward, so some cats worry there could be something bad lurking on the horizon. The oldest of Hyacinth's three orphans that he found has already earned his warrior name, though perhaps it's more accurate to call it his elder name. Barry Spot was born with persistent headaches, which was making it harder for him to be a warrior. He did his best training with Mimosa for a few moons before Spot Paw went to the leader and explained he didn't feel like he was meant to be a warrior. He felt much better helping out around camp, and he was sure one day in the future, when the clan had kits to care for, he would be perfectly suited to caring for them. Originally, the game said he was moving to the Elder's Den, but I decided to give him the role of mediator, seeing as that's also the role I plan to give to nursing queens. Now it's time for all the young warriors. Mimosa was the first to earn her warrior name. Now she is called Mimosa Stream. She was honored for kindness and having a peaceful nature. Admittedly, for a while, this made it difficult for her to feel at home in the clan. She didn't like being hostile towards outsiders. At one point, her closest friend was a kitty pet called Stanley. However, more recently, Mimosa has tried to find reasons to stick around. For one, she has a great desire to be a mentor, hopefully actually training a cat all the way to being a warrior. You'll learn more about that in a little bit. Or maybe her developing relationship with her former mentor, Orange Juice. Olive Branch is another cat who has felt like an outsider within her own clan. Frankly, it seems like this whole clan is just a merry bunch of misfits. Olive has felt awkward because she really doesn't know how to talk to other cats, with the only exceptions being her best friend, Cream Paw, and her former mentor, Snowstar. On more than one occasion, she tried taking on challenges by herself, like trying to get into squabbles with a fox over bits of prey, or falling in a hole. But she is managing, and she's trying to learn how to open up and be more friendly towards others. It's just a bit of a process. And speaking of things that are a bit of a process, I think Cream Fluff might be the cat who has gone through the most development already in this first year. You might remember that last year she was an arrogant and stuck-up little menace. But then, after her first mentor, Lyrestar, was taken by Two Legs, Cream Paw was forced to adapt. And she soon discovered there was more to her than just being the descendant of Whirlpaw. Now, she is still one of the most outspoken cats in the clan. Don't get me wrong. During her ceremony, she was honored for her spunk. But now she uses her voice to try to defend herself and others instead of exclusively to brag. She still brags quite a lot, just does other things in addition to bragging now. Splotchpaw is the middle child of the orphan trio that Hyacinth brought home. But just because she's the middle child does not mean she has any intention of letting herself be overlooked. From the time she and her siblings were rescued, she has been loud and obnoxious, always charging into everything head first. This did, of course, get her in trouble many, many times, such as when on her very first outing as an apprentice, she tried to fight with a dog, or the fact that right now she's actually missing because she approached and let herself get picked up by a two-leg. Finally, we've got the youngest and honestly my favorite of the trio of kits Hyacinth found. This is the charismatic and quick-witted Specklepaw. Although she's officially the apprentice of Creamfloat, more often than not, she will sneak out on her own. She is super energetic and loves causing mischief. Her favorite thing in the world is actually cicadas. On not one, but 2 occasions when she was a kitten, she was caught picking up cicadas, live cicadas, mind you, stuffing them in her mouth, and then chasing her siblings around while the bugs were still buzzing in her cheeks. She is such a little maniac. I love her. So yeah, that's year 1 for WhimsyClan. Tell me if you've got any thoughts, if you've got warrior name suggestions, future kit name suggestions, anything. I would love to hear it.